You walk into a room and forget why you're there. You grope for a simple word on the tip of your tongue. That persistent, foggy feeling that descends in the afternoon. Is it just stress? For decades, we've accepted these mental slips as an inevitable part of a busy life. But what if these aren't random glitches? What if they are distress signals from the most vital organ in your body? What if your brain, the very core of your being, is silently starving? If that feeling of mental exhaustion resonates, know this is a shared, silent epidemic. To uncover the science behind it and reclaim your focus, subscribe and hit the notification bell, because this journey will redefine your relationship with food. This brain fog is no longer an issue for old age. We're seeing an unprecedented rise in cognitive complaints from young adults, people in their prime, who eat right, yet feel their mental edge slipping away. It's a frustrating paradox that leaves millions searching for answers that conventional wisdom fails to provide. To understand this crisis, we must appreciate the brain's sheer energy demand. It is an incredibly hungry organ. While making up only 2% of body weight, it consumes a staggering 20% of your daily calories. Think of it as a supercar engine. Its performance is immense, but its fuel requirements are extreme. This high-maintenance engine runs 24/7, powering everything from your dreams to your ability to solve problems. But like any high-performance machine, it is exceptionally sensitive to fuel quality. It doesn't just need calories. It needs premium fuel to fire on all cylinders. And here is where the central mystery begins. You might think, but I eat a healthy diet. I have salads. I avoid junk food. This is precisely the illusion leaving so many brains undernourished. Our modern food system has created a new famine, one of nutritional quality, not quantity. Our fruits and vegetables are often grown in depleted soils, lacking the essential minerals they once had. Our foods are processed in ways that strip them of delicate, brain-critical vitamins. It means you can have a full stomach but an empty brain, consuming calories while starving your neurons of the building blocks they need. The problem, therefore, isn't a lack of food, but the absence of specific micronutrients that act as spark plugs for our neural engine. These are the catalysts for memory formation, the protectors against cognitive decline, and the fuel for sustained focus. Without them, the brain's intricate signaling system misfires, leading to inflammation and a gradual decay of function we mistakenly write off as getting older. The food you eat is either building your brain or breaking it down every single day. The question is, which path are you on? The answers are the key to ending this silent famine inside our skulls. So, what are these critical elements? Not a single magic pill, but a powerful trinity of cognition that forms the foundation of neurological health. These are the non-negotiables for sharp memory. First, omega-3 fatty acids, the literal building blocks of your brain cells. Second, B vitamins, crucial catalysts for energy and creating the chemical messengers that allow your brain to communicate. And third, a protective shield, potent antioxidants that defend your delicate neural hardware from relentless daily damage. Understanding why these three specifically diminish after age 50 is the key to solving the problem of cognitive decline. Let's start with the fundamental building material, omega-3 fatty acids, specifically a molecule called DHA. Your brain is nearly 60% fat, and DHA is the most abundant type. It's the premium material for your neuron membranes, keeping them fluid so electrical signals can fire with lightning speed. Without enough DHA, membranes become rigid, slowing communication, the physical basis of brain fog. The problem after 50 is critical. Our body's ability to convert plant-based omegas into usable DHA becomes significantly less efficient. Your brain isn't getting the specific form it desperately needs to maintain its structure. Next are the engineers of the brain's chemical factory, the B vitamins, particularly B12 and folate. They aren't building blocks, but the essential workers that make everything run. They are vital for synthesizing neurotransmitters, like dopamine for motivation and serotonin for mood. They also control a toxic compound called homocysteine, which is directly linked to vascular damage in the brain and cognitive decline. Here's the age-related trap. Absorbing B12 from food requires strong stomach acid. As we age, stomach acid production naturally declines. This means you could be eating B12-rich foods, but your body simply can't unlock it, leaving your brain's chemical production line critically understaffed. Finally, the brain's security detail, antioxidants, specifically flavonoids from colorful plants. Your brain is a high-energy furnace, and this activity creates massive amounts of damaging byproducts called free radical cellular exhaust. This oxidative stress damages neurons and accelerates brain aging. Flavonoids are the cleanup crew. They neutralize these radicals, protecting your brain from constant assault. The decline after 50 is often insidious. Changes in diet, plus a less efficient digestive system, means the intake of these protective compounds falls below the critical threshold needed for defense. Crucially, these three don't work in isolation. Their decline creates a devastating synergistic failure. Imagine this. Brain cell membranes, made brittle by a lack of DHA, are now far more susceptible to the oxidative damage that low antioxidant levels can no longer prevent. At the same time, the brain's chemical messengers, which rely on B vitamins, struggle to transmit signals across these damaged structures. It's a cascade of malfunction. The structural integrity fails, the defense systems are down, and the communication network is running on fumes. This is why a single nutrient approach often fails. The entire ecosystem of brain health is compromised and must be addressed as a system. Understanding the roles of omega-3s, bivitamins, and antioxidants is a critical first step. But knowledge without action is just trivia. The real transformation happens when we translate science from the lab into our kitchens, building our defense, meal by meal. So, let us move beyond the abstract and create a tangible grocery list for the Minda blueprint for stocking your pantry with the precise tools your brain needs to thrive. This isn't about a restrictive diet. It's about strategic additions, about consciously choosing foods that actively build a more resilient brain. This is where theory becomes practice, and your next meal becomes an investment in your cognitive future. Our first stop is the omega-3 section, the foundation of your brain's physical structure. The most potent sources of DHA and EPA are fatty, cold water fish. Think salmon, mackerel, anchovies, and sardines. Aiming for at least 2 servings per week provides a powerful dose of these essential fats that form the very membranes of your neurons. For those on a plant-based diet, the building blocks are still accessible. Next, we hunt for the B vitamins that fuel our neurotransmitters and maintain the protective myelin sheath around our nerves. For folate, or B9, think green. Leafy greens are your best ally. Spinach, kale, and arugula are packed with it. Lentils, asparagus, and beans are also excellent sources. For vitamin B12, the sources are primarily animal-based, such as lean meats, eggs, and dairy. However, plant-based eaters can readily find it in fortified foods like nutritional yeast, certain plant milks, and many breakfast cereals. If you're finding this grocery list helpful, take a moment to hit the like button and share your favorite brain-fueling food in the comments below. Your ideas could inspire our entire community. Now, we paint our cart with the colors of antioxidants. This is the brain's personal security detail, protecting delicate cells from the constant assault of oxidative stress. Blueberries are the undisputed superstars, often called brainberries for their high concentration of flavonoids, which have been shown to improve communication between brain cells. But don't stop there. Strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries are all part of this elite protective team. For a different antioxidant punch, look to dark chocolate with a high cocoa content, 70% or more, which provides flavonols that can improve blood flow to the brain. Even your daily cup of green tea contributes a dose of powerful catechins, further fortifying your cognitive defenses. So we have the ingredients, but how do we combine them into a coherent strategy? Researchers have already created the blueprint. It's called the MIND diet, short for Mediterranean-Intervention for Neurodegenerative Delay. This isn't a fad. It's a scientifically backed framework that merges the best of the Mediterranean and DASH diets, specifically emphasizing the food groups proven to support long-term brain health. It prioritizes leafy greens, berries, nuts, olive oil, whole grains, and fish, while limiting red meat, cheese, and sweets. Think of it not as a strict set of rules, but as an operating system for your cognitive kitchen, a simple, powerful guide to making brain-healthy choices every single day. Now that we've built the blueprint for a brain-fueling diet, we must confront a more insidious truth. It's not enough to simply add the right foods. We must also actively remove the saboteur. These are the ingredients hiding in plain sight. The everyday choices that silently dismantled the very cognitive architecture we're trying to protect. This isn't about occasional indulgence. This is about the chronic, low-grade assault waged on your brain by foods engineered to be irresistible. This is about the chronic, low-grade assault waged on your brain by foods engineered to be irresistible, but are, in reality, neurological Trojan horses. Understanding these enemies is the critical step in defending your mental clarity. The first and most pervasive saboteur is excess sugar and its close relative, refined carbohydrates. When you consume a sugary drink or white flour pastry, your bloodstream is flooded with glucose. This triggers a surge of insulin to manage the load. Over time, your brain cells, which are massive consumers of glucose, can become numb to insulin signal. This is insulin resistance in the brain, a state some researchers now call type 3 diabetes. When this happens, neurons struggle to get the fuel they need, communication falters, and a fire of chronic inflammation is ignited, directly contributing to brain fog and long-term neurodegeneration. Equally destructive are the artificial trans fats, the phantoms of the food industry, often listed as partially hydrogenated oils. Your brain is about 60% fat, and it uses dietary fats to build and maintain the membranes of its 100 billion neurons. When you consume healthy fats like omega-3 south, these membranes are fluid and flexible, allowing for rapid communication. But when trans fats are incorporated, they create a structure that is rigid and dysfunctional. Imagine a security gate rusted shut. Nutrients can't get in, waste can't get out, and electrical signals sputter. This cellular stiffening is directly linked to poorer memory and an increased risk of cognitive decline. Finally, we must address the broad and menacing category of ultra-processed foods. This goes beyond a single bad ingredient. These are industrial formulations, think packaged snacks, frozen dinners, and sugary cereals designed for hyperpalatability and a long shelf life. They deliver a triple threat of refined carbs, unhealthy fats, and a cocktail of additives, while being stripped of essential nutrients like fiber and phytonutrients. This combination not only drives the inflammation and insulin resistance we've discussed, but also wreaks havoc on your gut microbiome, the bacteria that communicate directly with your brain. A damaged gut sends distress signals that can manifest as mood disorders and cognitive impairment. The damage from these foods isn't the result of a single event. It's a slow, cumulative erosion. Each sugary soda, each meal of processed convenience, is a small withdrawal from your cognitive bank account. Over years, these withdrawals compound, leaving you vulnerable and mentally depleted. You might be following every piece of advice on what to eat, but if these saboteurs remain in your diet, you are fighting a battle on two fronts, with one hand tied behind your back. The crucial question becomes not just what to add, but what to eliminate. Recognizing these hidden enemies is the first step toward building a truly impenetrable defense. While mastering your plate is the cornerstone of cognitive health, it's the pillars you build around it that create an unshakable fortress for your mind. The most pristine diet can be undermined by a lifestyle that neglects the brain's other fundamental needs. We've built the nutritional foundation, but now we construct the complete resilience blueprint. This isn't about adding complexity. It's about understanding the powerful synergy between what you eat and how you move, rest, and challenge your brain. These are not separate goals, but interconnected systems creating a state of peak cognitive function, amplifying each other for maximum effect. First is movement. Physical exercise is not just for your body. It's a direct stimulant for your brain. When you engage in activity, you increase blood flow, delivering a rich supply of oxygen and nutrients. But the real magic happens on a molecular level with a protein called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. Think of it as potent fertilizer for your neurons. BDNF promotes the survival of existing brain cells and encourages the growth of new ones. It strengthens synapses, the connections between neurons, making your entire neural network faster and more efficient, directly combating the forces of cognitive decline. Next is the non-negotiable pillar of quality sleep. For decades, sleep was seen as passive downtime. But we now know it's one of the most active periods for brain maintenance. During deep sleep, your brain activates its waste clearance mechanism, the glymphatic system. This is your brain's dedicated cleaning crew, working to flush out metabolic debris and toxic proteins, including beta amyloid, which is strongly linked to Alzheimer's disease. Skimping on sleep is like letting toxins pile up in your mind, leading to next-day brain fog, poor decision-making, and a significantly increased long-term risk of neuro. The third pillar is active mental stimulation. Your brain operates on a use-it-or-lose-it principle called neuroplasticity, its ability to form new neural connections throughout life. This isn't triggered by passive consumption like scrolling social media. It requires novel challenges that push you out of your cognitive comfort zone. Learning a new language, mastering an instrument, or playing complex strategy games forces your brain to build new pathways. This creates what scientists call cognitive reserve, a dense, resilient neural network that can better withstand the inevitable challenges of aging, acting as a crucial buffer for your mind. So, there it is, the complete blueprint. It begins with fueling your brain and protecting it from damage. It's fortified by the pillars of consistent exercise to generate BDNF, deep sleep to clear out toxins, and active challenges to build cognitive reserve. These elements work in concert, each making the others more effective. This is your strategy for long-term cognitive vitality. If you're ready to put this into action, our next video details the 5 daily habits that compound these effects. Click here to watch it now, and subscribe to continue your journey to a sharper mind. As always, this information is for educational purposes and is not a substitute for professional medical advice.